genuinely surprised this stash is as small as it is, because I absolutely love wrap dresses. I have way more of them made up than I have patterns, but let's have a look at my pattern collection and the ones that I have made and haven't yet made. First up, we have the Vogue 9313. This is one that I haven't made, but I do really like the look of. I can imagine that I will probably end up doing the sleeveless version or adding fluttery sleeves to this one, just because I prefer that sleeve style. But thinking about it, I don't have a sleeveless wrap dress. All of them have either long bishop sleeves or fluttery sleeves on them, so a sleeveless one might be nice to try. I have included it as a wrap dress because it does wrap over at the front fully. I have some faux wrap dresses that do this kind of thing, but they are in another category, so haven't tried this one yet. Really want to, and this was a very kind gift from the lovely Lorianne, so thank you, Lorianne. Next we have McCalls 7998. It's a Laura Ashley pattern. It has epic sleeves. I have seen a few people make this up and I really like it. I did have plans and fabric to make a black version of this in a black viscose crepe. I think that would look amazingly elegant and lovely. But as we know, I don't wear black. I did make a lot of black items of clothing, but I haven't kept, I think I've kept one actually, my tracksuit bottoms. But other than that, every other black item of clothing has left my wardrobe. So I don't know what fabric I would make this one up in. I do really like it. I think it's really interesting. I like all the ones that I've seen on other people, so I do want to give it a try. I just need to find the perfect fabric. Next up we have McCalls 7801. It was another present from the very lovely Lorianne. She bought me about 20 patterns when she came over for the very first time from different Joann's sales, so I have quite a few from the lovely Lorianne, and this is one of them. I really like this, and I actually think this is a really good dupe for a Zimmermann wrap dress. You would probably want to tweak the flounce a little bit, but with the kind of like collar, Revere collar on it, I do think you could make something very Zimmermann-esque from this pattern, and I think I've featured it in a Get the Look for Less. I also really like the ruffly version. I like that the ruffle goes all the way around the top and around the back of the dress, around the neckline. I think that's really nice, and it's not something I have in my stash. My ruffly dresses, it's this Butterick 6554. They have like inset ruffles, so this is a really different take on that. I like the shaped hem, although I have a feeling that I would like the combination of bodice D with skirt B, the straight across skirt with the kind of like Revere collar neckline. I think would look really nice. I'm not overly sure about the sleeves on this one, but only because I personally don't like super close fitted sleeves in woven garments. I prefer flutter sleeves or bishop sleeves or no sleeves, so I'm not sure what I would try with this one, but I do want to give this dress a go because I think it's gorgeous. Again, I just need to pick a fabric. Next we have the 7892, which I've actually done a sew along for, and I will link that up here and in the description down below. I really like how this dress turned out. I did have a few qualms about it. The skirt was hitting just above my knee at the front, even with the ruffle on it, so I would want to lengthen the skirt a little bit to make it more in line with my preferences. It's one of those ones that's meant to have like a tie on the inside and a tie on the outside. I've changed that so it's a proper wrap with a buttonhole or keyhole on one side, so you can properly wrap the ties all the way around. I also found the tops of the bishopy sleeves quite restrictive. My battery's dying, 2 secs. That's better, you have power. So yes, the sleeves, I found them odd because the flare kind of started just above the elbow, and I really liked the bottom of the sleeve, but it was so narrowly fitted at the top that I found them quite restrictive. I have worn that dress a couple of times, but with the slightly shorter skirt and the slightly restrictive sleeves, it's not one that's going to survive the wardrobe cull. The other thing is the fabric. The fabric is beautiful. It was a viscose that I got from the textile centre. It's absolutely gorgeous, but it is dark and muted colours, so it's definitely not in my I love this, I want to put this on colour palette that I have discovered since having my colours done. So I want to make this one again. I wanted to make those changes to it, and I want to make it in a fabric that's much more me, much more bright, much more vibrant, and it will get worn because it is an awesome dress. And the sew along is really good, if I say so myself. So it will talk you through the making of it and all those tweaks and changes that I have mentioned. When I go back, I will show you how I address the tops of the sleeves and how I make those bigger, and also how I lengthen the skirt without increasing the circumference of the bottom of the skirt, because if you do that then the flounce won't fit. So I just want to add length, I don't want to add any width to the bottom of the skirt. So I will make those changes to the sew along, and I will make this dress again because I do love it. Next we have McCalls 7745. I can't believe I haven't made this one. It's really, really lovely. I like all of the versions. I like the strappy one with all of the flounces. I do find the kind of flounce that goes over the arm like that somewhat restrictive, so I have some ideas for increasing the length of that and putting in some elastic so that it still kind of drapes and hangs the same way but has a wider range of movement for when you want to do that, because there's elastic into those channels. I have an idea for that. I've never made it, so I don't know if they are restrictive, but looking at it and knowing stuff that I've made previously, I have found that. So that is something that I want to try if I make this one up, more like when I make this one up. The little cap sleeves from C and D are gorgeous. I love that kind of length of sleeve on me. I really like it with and without the ruffles. I really like that you've got a straight skirt or a high-low hem skirt with or without the ruffle. So can't believe I haven't made this one yet. Need to try it soon. Saying that, we're just about to start October, so maybe not soon because brr, but next year. I can imagine I will really like this one and want to wear this one. Next up we have McCalls 8036, and again I think this is a really, really cute dress. I like the slightly longer sleeve with into the cuff, as in A and B. I think C is just the wrong length for me. I prefer my sleeves above the arm to kind of be loose fluttery sleeves, and then I like the ones that are gathered in to come below my elbow, but I like that you have the option. I like the pleats at the neckline. I like that the skirt is either ruffly or straight, and it would be very easy to elongate it. It does look like there's two skirt lengths. The ruffly one, you will have to again be careful how you elongate it, because you don't want to widen the bottom edge because the ruffles then won't fit in the way that they're intended to, but that doesn't strike me as too difficult a change. I like that you have the option of buttons or a tie. I would probably make this a proper wrap dress if it's not. I have a feeling it's not. I have a feeling it's like a tie on the outside, a tie or a hook and eye, or a button and buttonhole on the inside, especially as one of the options is the button-up option. I don't love asymmetry in that kind of way with the buttons just going down the one side, so I probably would opt for the tie version. But this is a really cute dress, and again I can't believe I haven't made it up yet. I think I've just gotten into a rut with the wrap dresses that I have tried and love and find very easy to make, so this is definitely one that needs to get tried soon. Next we have Butterick 5030, and this was a present from the lovely Jo. I don't know why I haven't tried this one. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I think there have been a few people that have made it up and have had issues with it, so maybe that's why I've shied away from it. But I love the little collar detail. I love the sleeve options. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I really want to give it a try. It's very close to the Sew Over It Eve dress, because it does on some of the versions have the little yoke with gathering into it for shaping over the bust. Some of the other versions, in fact all of the other versions, have waist to bust darts as well. It looks like it's finished with a binding around the front neck edge, which is interesting and should give you ample opportunity to put in some twill tape to stabilize the neckline, which is something I do like to do with wrap dresses. I can't believe I haven't tried this one yet either. The skirt on the line drawing does look fuller than the skirt on the model. That might be an issue for me because I do like a very full skirt, as we know, but I would definitely be willing to give this a try with one of my pretty but less precious fabrics that I have in my stash and see how I go with that. So this is another one that I really want to try soon. And the last two I have made up. We have the Butterick 6554. There is a sew along for this one. I have made 1, 2, 3, 4 of this dress so far, and there will be more. I do double up the flounces because that is my preference, especially with fabrics where the wrong side of the fabric is very, very obviously different to the right side of the fabric. If I was making this with a chiffon, I might do a narrow rolled hem on my serger and just do a single flounce, but for the fabrics I've made it up in so far, I double up the flounces, and I talk you through that in the sew along. I love this dress. I wear this dress frequently. I have tweaked things. I have shortened the sleeves because they were very long. I do prefer to put the sleeves on and put the ruffle at the neckline as well. It's not an option, but it's very easy to tweak and do that. I haven't made the sleeveless backless version. I prefer to wear bras. I would find it very difficult to wear this dress with the elasticated channel at the back and then a tie at the neck. It just wouldn't be something that I would feel comfortable in, so I probably will never make that version. But the long ruffly one with the raglan sleeves is gorgeous. I love it, and I will make more. And finally, my sew over Eve dress. I am wearing one today. I have probably about 14 or 15 of them. I have done a full review on this dress and I've talked through all the tweaks and changes that I've made to it. There are a few, and they are only minor, and they are only to give me the finish that I like when I'm making dresses. It's not because it's a badly written pattern or it needed major tweaks to it. The one thing I will say is they don't have lengthen and shorten lines on it, and this is drafted for a 5'6" frame. I'm 5'8" and I needed to add an inch, possibly an inch and a quarter on this one to get it to sit on my actual waist. I also think that they've added slightly more ease into the dress than I like. So I, again, in my review, talk you through all of the changes that I've made and the sizing that I've tried to get to the dress that I have today that fits me the way that it does, and the one that I love and, as I say, have made 14 of. I am not going to stop making this dress. I absolutely love it. I have tweaked it a few times. I've added bishop sleeves once. I want to do that again. I would like to even off and do a straight across the bottom hem, but at the longer length. The above the knee one is nice, but it's just not for me. It's not a length I like on myself. I have never tried these straight sleeves on this dress. I have heard that sew over it sleeves tend to run on the smaller, tighter side. I do like how they look, but it's not something, as I say, that I have tried for myself yet. But I can imagine making the straight sleeve one with this with a knit or a stable knit, so that it had the flexibility that I personally prefer in a tight fitted or a more slimline fitted sleeve like this one. But the wrap dress with the high-low hem is such a beautiful dress. It's such a romantic dress. I love wearing it. I wear it frequently as a day-to-day dress, and then with the right accessories and shoes I can 100% wear it for an evening out and feel completely dressed up enough. It's also a great dress for me for dancing in, for salsa especially. You need to be able to raise your arms above your head in that dance, and because of the fluttery sleeves that I prefer and put onto my Eve dresses, that's very, very easy. It also has an amazing twirl factor. I always wear slips under my clothes because I like to protect my clothes, because I want to wash them as infrequently as possible. I have a bunch of slips and I put them into the wash daily because they're the things that are obviously next to my skin, but they're also great for these kinds of dresses because, as we know, wrap dresses, when you walk or when you move or if you get caught in a gust of wind, can be a little bit more revealing than you possibly like. So for me, I put a slip on underneath and that kind of alleviates that problem. So yeah, love the sew over Eve dress. Highly recommend this pattern, and I will be making more of them. That is my wrap dress collection. I have 9 patterns, of which I have made 3, but I have made a lot of those 3. I really want to try the other ones. They're all gorgeous. I have kept them for a reason, and I love wearing wrap dresses, so I definitely need to experiment with some of these ones very, very soon. What do you think? Do you like wearing wrap dresses? Are you like me? Do you want them to be a proper wrap dress as well, rather than tying on one side and tying on the other side? I just find that they cinch better when they wrap all the way around, which is why I alter every pattern to do that. Have you made any of these patterns? If you have, please let me know in the comments section down below, because I'd love to see what you've come up with. If you've enjoyed this video, you might want to check out this one here.